So we've all been there. You're scrolling through Instagram and you see yet another #relationship-goals photo. You know what I'm talking about. Just a few weeks ago, Valentine's Day. And I don't know about you, but my feed was covered in cute couples, boxes of chocolates, and extravagant bouquets of flowers. Love was everywhere, and everyone else seemed to have it. We all want love, don't we? And it's no surprise. We're taught that love is magic. Watch any Disney movie or walk down the greeting card aisle in any CVS, and it's no surprise. We all want to ride off into the sunset and live happily ever after like our favorite on-screen couples, like Belle and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, like Chuck and Blair from Gossip Girl, that might be a dated example, or like Harley Quinn and the Joker from Suicide Squad. Once we meet that special person, everything else will just fall into place. We go through life building friendships and relationships and think we'll just figure it out as we go. But it's not that simple. At the beginning of a relationship, everything is really exciting. It's a whirlwind of intensity and emotion, and it feels often too good to be true. The thing is, sometimes it is too good to be true. Have you ever heard someone say something like, "I need to look through your text messages because I love you. I want you to spend all your time with me because I love you." Don't take things so seriously. It was just a joke. I love you. And this doesn't seem so bad. This seems exciting. But then it can start to sound a little more intense, like, "I love you so much, but I know you're cheating on me." Or, "You'd do this for me if you really loved me." And our first instinct when we start hearing things like that is to make excuses for it, to just explain it away. And this is really dangerous. A shocking statistic about high school students just like you is that 1 in 3 high school students reports knowing a friend or peer who has been kicked, punched, slapped, or physically hurt by a partner. And you might be sitting there thinking, no, this will never happen to me. They love me. Well, that's the tricky thing about love. It's so hard to believe that someone who you care about so deeply could hurt you. Sadly, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men here in the United States will experience an abusive relationship at some point in their lifetime. So what can we do about it? How do we turn the tide on these dismal statistics? I believe that the critical step to solving this problem is recognizing the signs of unhealthy relationships. So why am I here talking to you all about this today? Once upon a time, I was in high school, and I wanted my own happily ever after story. And I was in a relationship that looked a lot like the ones I'd seen on TV. We'd hang out all the time, we'd talk on the phone all night, we'd go on dates. It was everything I ever wanted. And he'd say things to me like, "Your friends don't care about you as much as I do. Why are you so sensitive? Just take a joke. Don't hang out with them anymore. They don't care about you like me." And I didn't think anything of it. I wanted this relationship to work so badly, and I didn't know a thing about the signs of unhealthy relationships. But then things got a little bit worse. He would constantly criticize me and demean me. He'd say he didn't like my clothes or my friends or the classes I took. I felt really isolated. I saw my friends and my family less and less, and I felt miserable, but I didn't know why. And then one day we were walking out of school, just like every other day, and he was ranting and raving at me about how much he hated the shirt I wore to school that day. And when we got down to the parking lot, he was so angry that he grabbed me by the backpack and slammed me against the wall in our school parking garage. I didn't know what to say, so I just turned around and looked at him, and he said, "I'm sorry. I wouldn't have done it if you didn't piss me off so much." And so I sat there that night and wondered, why did this happen to me? And I vowed that I'd never let something like that happen again. Until it did. I was in college, and this was the real deal. This was really gonna be happily ever after. I was in another relationship, and I was also working at Disneyland at the time, the happiest place on earth. And I was wearing these dresses and singing these songs and acting out all of these fairy tales that I admired growing up. And then I'd get backstage after my shift, I'd take my wig off, and I'd look down at my phone. And I'd see 50 unread text messages from him, my fairy tale. He would say, "I hate thinking about all those guys looking at you. Nobody would ever like you with all that makeup on. You're ignoring me after all I've done for you? Answer me. It's no wonder everyone thinks you're stupid. So how do we break this cycle? How do we change these awful statistics about relationships here in America? We need to recognize the signs of unhealthy relationships so that we can respond accordingly. But this is easier said than done, because unhealthy relationships don't start with kicks and punches. They start exciting and emotional, like any relationship would. But the thing is, if you're in an unhealthy relationship, odds are you feel sad, at least some of the time. And that's what I want you to remember. The acronym SAD stands for suffocating, aggressive, and dominating, the first 3 warning signs of unhealthy relationships. So let's start at the top with S for suffocating. Does your partner track your location? Do you find yourself seeing your friends and family less and less over time? These are some warning signs of suffocating behavior. So let's think about one of our favorite fairy tale couples, Belle and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. We idolize them, but think back to the beginning of that relationship. The Beast literally locks Belle away in a prison cell in his castle. She can't see her family, she can't see her friends, she can't read all of the books that she loves. This is a sign of suffocating behavior. Next, we have A for aggressive. And it's easy to think that aggressive behavior is just person-on-person violence, but it expands to much more than that. Does your partner slam their fist on the table when they talk to you? Do they yell at you or others? Do they throw things across the room? Do they break your personal belongings? These are all warning signs of aggressive behavior. And when I was in high school, the television couple of the moment was Chuck and Blair from Gossip Girl. And there's this one episode where Chuck is so mad at Blair for talking to another guy that he goes into her apartment and punches a hole through her window. And even though he doesn't lay a finger on her in that episode, a shard of glass flies out of the window and cuts her on the face. And so this is a metaphor on how aggressive behavior can be so damaging in relationships, even if it isn't person-on-person violence. And then lastly, we have D for dominating. Do you feel like your partner is controlling your every move? Do they tell you what you can and can't wear, who you can and can't see? Are they monitoring you? This is a warning sign of dominating behavior. Think of one of our favorite villain couples, Harley Quinn and the Joker. In Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn wears that blazer that says property of Joker on the back. And in a healthy relationship, nobody is anyone else's property, but rather we're able to exist as individuals outside of the relationship. So next time you're in a relationship and start feeling a little bit sad, remember these warning signs, SAD, and be on the lookout for suffocating, aggressive, or dominating behavior. Why am I so passionate about this? It's because it works. I have seen time and time again that recognizing these signs and knowing what they are can save us from unhealthy relationships and often save us from life-threatening violence. Through my work with the Safe Love Project, I have seen many aha moments happen in real time and received many emails from people who said they didn't even realize they were in an unhealthy relationship until they knew these signs. And so it's time we redefine what happily ever after even means. Each and every one of you here in this room today deserves healthy and happy relationships in your life. And all of these principles expand to every relationship we have, with friends, with teachers, with family, with peers, with boyfriends, with girlfriends. And so, what are you gonna do the next time a friend oversteps your boundaries? The next time a family member calls you a demeaning name? The next time a boyfriend or girlfriend starts monopolizing your time? You now have the tools to recognize the signs of unhealthy behavior and react to it. I have taken the pledge in my own life to recognize the signs of unhealthy behavior and to keep myself safe. And I would love for everyone here today in this room at Whitney High to take that pledge as well. If you're willing to take that pledge with me today, raise your right hands and repeat after me. I promise to recognize the warning signs of unhealthy relationships and to keep myself safe. Thank you.